Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about greeting coloring. So this is a technique that helps you color a graph. So the difference between greeting coloring and the vertex coloring that we covered in the last video is that it's not going to give you an optimal chromatic number. That means may use more colors to color the graph. But at the end, we'll slightly modify the code so that eventually the code is going to give you an optimal number of colors to color the graph. So what you see on the screen now is a free cloud-based platform by Google, and it is used for writing and executing Python programming code. You can certainly use PyCharm, you can certainly use Jupyter Notebook, but what you see here is very similar to Jupyter Notebook. All right, so what I'm going to do now is to go through the code line by line. If you have seen something like this before, you can skip to the assignment. But for each line of the code, I'm going to write down some comment to explain what that line is going to do for us, so that you know what the code is doing and what it's eventually going to give you when you run the code. So what we do now is we import network X as an X. What we do is we want to create an analyze graph. Next, we import matplotlib.pyplot as plt. So this helps you plot functions or in draw graphs. So this particular functions can be also very helpful when you want to visualize functions you learn in pre-calculus and calculus sequence. Then you import matplotlib.colors as mpl. So what it does is that I want to pull in the colors. Eventually, I want to assign colors to the vertices. So I need some colors, and the colors pull from matplotlib. So here is the predefined colors from matplotlib. All right. Next, we're going to pull in some graphs or predefined graph. That is g equal to nx dot dodecahedral underscore graph. So again, what it does is create a graph with 20 vertices and 30 edges. So what I'm going to do now is to try to visualize what we have for the graph. So nx.draw, and there are some argument going on here. So certainly we need the graph. We need to see the label. So with labels is equal to true. So let's see what we have. So plt.show. So this is what you see for the graph that we just created. Now, the issues with the code so far is that if you run this again, you see that the graph is slightly different from the last time you see it. Let's run it again. The vertices in totally different positions. So we need to control something like that so that you don't have different graph anytime, or the vertices are not in a different positions anytime you run the code. So what you do is that you go here and you do POS define for positions, and you do nx.spring layout. And you want to fix the positions of the vertices, and you see it is equal to 14. There's nothing special about number 14 here. It's just you can choose any integers that work for you. You can choose 1, you can choose, let's say, 42, you can choose 1000, you can choose 2026 if you want to. Okay, so when you run the code, you need to include this POS argument, so that anytime you run the code now, the position of the vertices remain the same. So here I include POS, and I run. So one time, this is the second time, but you notice that the vertices remain the same between the 2 times that I run the code. All right, so eventually we need to color this graph and see and calculate the chromatic number. So what we do next is to color the vertices using the green color algorithm. So what I do is I go here and I do graph underscore coloring, and is equal to nx dot greeting color of g. So what it's done is that you want to color the vertices using a greeting coloring algorithm. And what it does is that in the background is that the output going to become a dictionary. So here I want to explain the output a little bit further. If you run this code, if you run this line of code right here, the output is a dictionary. That is what you have the vertex in color number. So for example, what we have is, let's say the 0 vertex will correspond to the 0 color. The vertex 1 will correspond to color 1. Vertex 2 going to correspond to color 2, so on and so forth. So I have a typo here, so greedy. So next thing I do is unique colors. I'm going to do set of graph coloring that we have, and what it does is that I'm going to collect the colors used in the greedy algorithm. Now the next thing you do is we're going to map each of the color used in a greedy coloring algorithm to an actual color. So far what we have is just a bunch of number, right? So color 0, color 1, color 2, so on and so forth. Now I need to assign a color to the color 0. I need to assign a color to a color 1, and I need to assign a color to a color 2, so on and so forth. So I do that graph colored underscore to MPL colors. So what I do is dictionary of zip of unique color, and I assign that to a colors in matplotlib. And I do table tableau colors. So what it does here is that I want to map colors, numbers, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth, to matplotlib colors. Therefore, at this point, what you're going to see is that you're going to have 0. Let's say it's going to be blue. So I'm not sure what colors they use in the background, but let's say 0 is to blue. The idea is assign the colors numbers to a matplotlib color. So 1 can be orange and 2 can be red, so on and so forth. So next, we're going to create a color list for the vertices. So we do node colors equal to list and graph dot values. So what I do here is that I create a color list for vertices. All right, so this line of code, we already talked about that, and now I'm gonna draw the graph before coloring and the graph after coloring, and I want to put them side by side. So what I do is that I'm going to create a side by side plot, and I get fig, comma, axis, and plt dot subplots. So I want to have them in, so one row in 2 columns, and the figure size is going to be 10, 5. So before coloring, that's what you see a little bit earlier, including the graph from the beginning, improve the POS, which is that we want to fix the positions of the vertices anytime you run the code, and you want to see the labels, of course. Now I'm going to move on to after coloring. So it's somewhat similar to what we see earlier, but in this case, you have an extra, and we're going to include the graph, the POS. You want to see with labels, of course, because you want to see the label of the vertices. Next, the node colors should be the one that we generate earlier, that is the node colors. You go back to here and you see we create a color list for the vertices, and we're going to use them here. And we're going to see different colors in terms of plt.cm, which is the color math, and I'm going to use the color rainbow. Certainly you can use other colors as well. You can use set3, you can use tab 10, you can use pair, you can use dark 2. There's a lot of choices for you to go with for the colors of the vertices. because I want to put the two graphs side by side, I need to modify the position of the graph. That is, the axis is going to be equal to axis 0, which is the first entry of the axis. So the axis here, there are two of them, right? And so for the after coloring, the axis equal to axis of 1. Now I'm going to run the code and see what we have. So this is the before coloring and this is the after coloring. As you can see, the positions of the vertices are remain the same. It's just the difference is the colors. All right. I want to improve the graph a little bit. So I want to set the title. I want to make the graph look, the output look a little bit nicer. So to include the title in this case, I'm going to do the axis 0 set title before coloring. And for the after coloring, so axis 1 set title after coloring. So as you can see, this is suggested by the program, but you can certainly type in the code if you want to. And I want to make the look a little bit nicer. I want to do plt.typeLayout and run the code. So it's look nicer and you can show that this is before coloring and this is after coloring. So next we're going to do the calculations for the chromatic number. Here, and I do chromatic score number, and it's equal to the length of the unique color that we recreate earlier. And I'm going to print out the message, which is the chromatic number equal to this placeholder right here. I'm going to run the code again, and you see that the chromatic number is equal to 4. Now I want to see this unit color a little bit closer, and I'm going to print out what they have here for the unit color. And they use, so the machines to use color 0, color 1, color 2, and color 3. So together you have the number of colors of 4. That's why the chromatic number is equal to 4. So that's it for this greedy coloring algorithm. And certainly this is not going to give you an optimal value of the chromatic number. Now to get the optimal value of chromatic number, what we need to modify in the code is that you're going to go here for the greedy coloring technique, and you add in another argument that the strategy that you want to use is equal to the SATUR. This stands for the degree of saturations. This is the greedy algorithm, obviously, for vertex coloring, and it is introduced back in 1979. So now if you run the code one more time, you will see the difference. Now the difference here, well, you can see the colors are different, and the colors they use is just 3, so chromatic number is equal to 3. So this is the optimal way to get the chromatic number.